Exactly.
Another day, another dollar, and today we are working to protect your wallet.
We are. So Jim Lineweaver is a financial planner from Lineweaver Financial. He's joining us right now live to help us understand more about how we can protect our assets. Jim, it's great to see you. Welcome.
Great to see you again. Thanks.
Let's get started here, Jim. Talk about inflation, what it is, and should we be concerned about it?
Well, we should, because inflation is really the increase in prices and items and goods that we all have to purchase. So if it gets too high, it really kind of cramps our budget, if you will. So we have to be careful, because in inflation, or is it really reflation? And there are two different types of inflation that are out there. So reflation, or what they're calling transitory inflation, could be temporary. So as we get people back to work and we fix the supply chain, maybe prices will subside. Whereas inflation is something that we usually see when the economy is at more of a full capacity and unemployment is generally much lower than it is today.
Sure, no doubt. So, Jim, talk for a moment, if you don't mind. How does this affect people? And talk about maybe possible changes that we might be seeing day to day.
Well, in fact, the Labor Department is reporting that the fastest pace of inflation that we've seen since 2008. So it's here. So what you're starting to see inflation across the board. We're seeing food inflation, prices are going up. Mm-hmm. We're seeing prices at the gas pump go up. We're around, a little over $3 a gallon now. And about a year ago, we were just over $2 a gallon. Wow. So it's up quite a bit. We also see, just announced within the last 2 days, Chipotle is increasing their food prices by, and what we're going to spend, by 4% to deal with their increase in labor costs. And Sherwin-Williams even just came out and they said that they're going to actually be increasing their paint because of the raw material shortages and prices that they're having to pay. So now what you're starting to see is these companies are passing these costs through to their consumers, and that's really going to hit everybody in their cash flow and in their pocketbook.
Yeah, we got to get people back to work, got to offer lots of incentives, $20 an hour in a lot of places. How do you protect the assets and your portfolio from inflation? I would imagine diversification?
Yes, but also, you can do some tactical tilts in time like this, like we've done to our portfolio. So you may want to look at real estate, and if you don't want to go out and do that on your own, there are things like real estate investment trusts or exchange-traded funds that you can buy that can try to head off some of this inflation. You can look at commodities, because when you really think about it, what is increasing out there? It's all these materials that we have to put into products that eventually get to the consumer. So you can buy commodity ETFs or some other things along that nature to help combat inflation. You can also buy TIPS, which are Treasury inflation-protected securities. They actually go up when interest rates go up, as opposed to a negative effect, which most bonds or bond ETFs do. So there's a lot of things that you can look at out there to invest in or try to do some tactical tilts to make sure that you get ahead of this and you're not blindsided by this transitory or typical inflation.
No doubt. Jim, you talk about all the things, gas prices going up, everything around us, things at the grocery store. So are there any steps that you might suggest that we can do to kind of protect our little household budget, whatever it may be, to kind of protect that, force field it from inflation?
Yeah, well, what you want to do is, keep an eye on that budget, because if it gets too tight on a given month, you don't want to push too much on a credit card or anything like that. So pay attention to what you're spending monthly. And for families, if you have a dual income, you do want some good reserves set aside that you can maybe go into and not go on credit card. So for a dual income household, you want 6 months in reserve. If you're single and or one breadwinner in the household, then you want to maybe drop that to a little more. So you just have to look at that, but also check out your savings. So if you have excess savings that are set aside because maybe you haven't traveled, you haven't taken those vacations, try to get that extra savings that you need working more efficiently for you, because obviously if inflation's running around 3%, which it historically has done, that means every year your savings is actually decreasing by 3% if you don't make sure that that's working more efficiently for you.
Good stuff, Jim. We got to go. A quick stock tip. Delta, anything?
Yeah. Airlines aren't bad, but you got to pick the right one. So
okay.
Your viewers give me a call if they like.
Good stuff.
Good advice.
Yeah. See how long that? Put money down now. Jim, thank you. Appreciate it. If you have more financial questions, contact Jim and his team at Lineweaver Financial.